Hello and welcome back to the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike and Laurent. It is Thursday, April 8th. Wow. In this episode, we will discuss goings-on in Europe. We will talk about the upcoming fixtures in the Premier League. But first, Mike, how are you feeling about everything that's going on with Spurs? Mourinho, he's in, he's out, he should be fired, narrative this, narrative that, and not being in Europe, a free Thursday.
Yeah, it's nice. United and Spurs both off this week, and yet still playing on a Sunday.
No, we'll get to Thursday. No. United played Granada today.
That's how much I paid attention to Europe this week. As far as Mourinho goes, he is who we thought he was, right? Like, so that's the story for me. And the thing about, and I've lamented this before on the show, not so much about Mourinho, but about the English press, about they're like a giant ping pong ball, right? Even on this show, I've even said, like, he needs patience and whatever. After the Crystal Palace draw that felt like a loss, right? That was like the turning point, the real turning point at the top of the table there. I was like, look, you can't bang on him for the same thing that got him to the top of the table, right? So I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. Now we're 4 months later, Jesus, 3 and a half, and he's everything that we've said that he is the whole time. The thing that I noticed, and the telling thing about Mourinho this week, was not that he started to throw his players on the bus, basically right on schedule. It was that he talked about how he's a serial winner and how he wants to win the Carabao Cup so that he can fulfill his promise, so to speak, and get a trophy. Get a trophy at every club he's been at.
You could win that game.
Yeah, but that's not the fucking point. But that's not the point. It's Mourinho FC, right? Mm-hmm. It's not Tottenham Hotspur. He's not winning it for Tottenham Hotspur. He's not winning for the players, not winning for the fans. He's winning it for his collection. And I called that out. I called it out about Europa League. I called it out about the Carabao Cup. And that's why, listen, when Pochettino brought the team to the Carabao Cup against Chelsea in 2015, did it mean that much? No, not really. But did I want to win it? Yeah, of course. But with Mourinho, I'm sitting here and I just can't stop lamenting the fact that he's doing it for himself and he's doing it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was different for you. So let me interject. I think the thing that's interesting is it's different with Pochettino and wanting to win, because there's a collective spirit of, you like him, you want him to win, you feel good about him, you want him to be your friend. With Mourinho, it's not Spurs, it's Mourinho winning a trophy.
Exactly. Yes.
It doesn't even count. And he'll leave and it'll mean nothing.
Yes. And the problem is that fans will tell me that it's the most impressive, it's the best part about anything, right? Pochettino, basically every time he was asked, was like, the Carabao Cup doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. We want to get the league, we want to get Champions League, Europa League, the FA Cup, fine. He was like wishy-washy on the FA Cup, but like, which sort of got him in some hot water, but I get it.
What do you think about the comment that he made? And then we can go into the European stuff. It's different managers, same players, right? That line that he makes, that it's basically like the players full. And watching the replays back, I mean, David Sanchez was fucking an abomination.
He's terrible.
Then the article I shared with you, the Michael Cox article, I think it's an interesting article. The idea, and they relate it back and forth to sort of this old school manager style where the way Mourinho plays allows his narrative to be that puts the players on an island, right?
It's like self-defeating.
But if you play the way he plays, the mistakes can be blamed on a person. If you play in a collective way, the mistakes can only be blamed on a manager, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting, is whether he's shooting himself, he's cutting off his nose to spite his face, right? Like, he wants to be known as a great manager, but he's playing in a way that can only deflect blame, when in fact great managers lift the team as a unit.
And they take blame on when it's needed.
Right. I find it.
They absorb it.
The reason why the press and narrative like him is for the same reason we talk about him. He's fascinating. It's a dark arts. It's a whole thing. And I really think it's fascinating. And when he's gone, we'll have left to talk about. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's CNN and Trump, right? It's the same thing.
He is the same, right? He's almost the same personalities, right? He is Trumpian in that regard. That kind of like, don't just listen to my narrative. I'm setting the narrative. Etc. And we've got all these things,
and now he's got the last piece of it with the stupid shit on social media. So he's exactly there. He just needs the spray tan. That's always missing.
Yeah. But I think we should get into the narrative of our of what is really left of the season, of where the drama is, and where the drama is living right now is in the last rounds of the Champions League. We have really the royalty of European football playing Real Madrid, Liverpool, who combined have the most trophies of all, right? And Liverpool in their
do they have like half of the
there's 20
Champions League?
20 between them.
Oh yeah. Right. I was just thinking of Champions League specifically.
Sorry. Liverpool have 6 and Real Madrid have 13.
Right. So how many are there?
It's been since 1953.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought it was
No, it's not that left. So Real Madrid, pretty pedestrian. The talking points out of this are my man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, attacked viciously and just poor defending. The guy can't defend. He is bad. He was at fault for 2, if not 3 of the goals. They all came down his side. And the argument that's been going on is it's been less about the result. I think no one really felt, I think there was some thought that maybe Liverpool could get by, but their defense is too weak. And Trent Alexander-Arnold giveth and taketh away. He put in a cross for Jota's goal, but he was probably culpable for 2 of the 3 goals. And Real Madrid look like they're going to go through unless Liverpool somehow just open Anfield and just like, we're fucking foregoing COVID rules. We're winning this fucking game. We're letting everybody in. That would be fucking cool if they did that.
Without the fans at Anfield.
Just do it. Liverpool, if you're listening, let people in. Make the fucking police come. Make the fucking scene. Make the police come and shut down Anfield while you're fucking playing in the game.
Yeah.
Just let it out on like secret underground chat that you're letting people into the stadium. And just be like, yeah, they all work here. We hired all of them. They're essential employees. Just fucking do it, right? It's that important. Can you imagine? Oh, you know what? Someone have some fucking guts and listen, if the UK really is this, they have 30 million people vaccinated, just vaccinate Liverpool. Just do it. That's hashtag vaccinate Liverpool. Listen, you gave everyone in Liverpool COVID with the fucking Atletico draw. You might as well fucking show that you're fine. You guys got it first. You're ready.
They've all got antibodies. They're good.
This has become a COVID podcast. I do root for the fucking league. I do. I root for the laundry.
Yeah, we are not in the same on that one.
You don't want Liverpool to get through past Real Madrid.
I want Liverpool to crash into a mountain every time.
Well, they already have crashed into a mountain.
I know.
They're down 3. They sent their best lineup in. Tabak has been playing okay. Jota has replaced Firmino basically, and that ship has sailed. I mean, Jota just scores goals. He's got to play somewhere.
That's the thing. I think. Listen, we saw this movie 2 years ago, almost to the day. They only need 2, right? They can't concede, but they've got an away goal, so they only need 2.
Their problem has been scoring, right? They've scored more goals.
But Jota's been hurt.
Yeah, I understand. It would be a classic Liverpool, but no team needs the emotion more than Liverpool does.
Yes, they feed on it the most of any team by far. They should
fucking parachute people in. They should turn the speakers up at the stadium. Just do whatever it takes. Like, cheat. Fuck it. If you're gonna win, win. City got through, beating Dortmund. It was not a great performance, but City got it done. It looked like they were gonna kick ass early. De Bruyne scored a really nice goal, but Dortmund hung in there. They had a goal sort of disallowed. I'll explain the context of it. Jude Bellingham is pressuring Ederson. It appears he fouls him. The ref blows the whistle. Bellingham, after the whistle blows, is past the goalkeeper and kicks it in. Okay. That happened. Upon review, which this was not reviewable because the whistle had been blown for a foul, Bellingham did not touch Ederson at all. Ederson just went down and then scored the goal. The controversy was, why did the referee blow the whistle? If he doesn't blow the whistle, then they can review it as a goal. But he did, so they can't. That's the story.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not willing to give City a pass into the next round just yet, though. I mean,
no. They were not great, and they got away with it. They scored it. They scored it late. De Bruyne was just De Bruyne. The thing that's so tough with City, like we're talking about narratives and fans, I love my team. They just don't have any juice.
No.
Right?
They're not exciting. I mean, they are weirdly, but they're not.
But they're not, right? Like it's all on the play on the field.
There's
Kevin
no
De Bruyne does not have a mohawk. Kevin De Bruyne is not quotable. Phil Foden is like a fucking 18-year-old with a baby who lives with his parents. You know, that's true. All the Latin guys literally don't say anything. Like, I've never heard Aguero
because the last time,
because they don't
last
speak
time,
English.
No, it's not even that. The last time one of them did, they got called out for racism, Bernardo Silva, right? So he's like,
and it ruined like 12 months of his season.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not talking to anyone anymore. I don't get this
what's
language.
funny is Silva's actually really talkative, and he's one of the few interesting guys. They're not intellectual. They just play football, and it all rests on Pep. So the only interesting personality of the team is Guardiola's, and he gets a lot of pub, but it's not enough to sustain Man City as a interesting narrative team, right? Like even like Haaland on Dortmund, that team's not great, but Haaland has natural charisma on the field. Like, I want to know what he's doing. I want to know where he is, what's happening. He plays with force. He plays with power. He did bully City, and he had chances, and Ederson saved it. So Ederson giveth and taketh away. But I mean, if there was a the word I'm looking for is audition for Man City, this was a strong one. City are in good position, but they could have wanted more.
Hold on a second, because you're going to go, speaking of, Anfield and atmosphere, right? Signal Iduna Park is probably the German Anfield at the very least, right?
With the yellow wall. They need to let people in.
They do too. Like, that's it. Okay. Underground, they're and their sister teams. This is perfect, right? Like,
they are.
Like,
they even swapped managers, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, I mean, you said it, Erling Haaland. There's no saying that like he can't just pop one past them. A 1-0 win,
pop two past them.
But a 1-0 win wins them the tie, right? They are far.
They're
far from out of this.
They can't keep a clean sheet. It would have to be a City game where they just can't score, which can happen.
About it. Right.
Which can happen.
You need one goal, right?
Yeah.
You probably could sit back and counterattack them.
We're not doing that.
Well, why wouldn't you do it?
Because City don't play that way.
No. I'm talking about Dortmund.
Oh, yes.
Why wouldn't you do that? Because that's the way to beat City. Draw them in.
But they don't do that either. They're not good enough. Right. No. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
They're not good enough defensively to sit on the ball. They'll get killed.
Totally agree. But it's, I mean, I think it's as worth as much of a shot as anything else. Because if you get Haaland free, if you get Gio Reyna down the side or whoever else, they'll score a goal. And then they'll really bunker.
Oh, no.
We could have something here.
As a City fan, I'm petrified. This is a good result, but I wanted, this is the problem with City. City are, for lack of a better word, for lack of whatever, they're weak. If Real Madrid are
fragile.
Team, right,
fragile.
If Real Madrid are a team that have the experience and have the institutional, we've got this. Man City are the institutional, we don't got this. Right. And then that goes to PSG, who are sort of getting the institutional, we got this. Right. They go to Bayern, get battered. And I have to read the stats because they're almost laughable. 31 shots on target to 6, 12 shots on target to 5. They camped out. Now, granted, they were down on 2 sucker punches early. One by Mbappe in the 3rd minute, and then another by Marquinhos in the 28th. And the greatest Stoke player who's ever been in the Champions League, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Somehow Stoke has 4 guys in the Champions League by playing for Bayern. I don't understand what the fuck Stoke was doing. They fucked up. But he played well. Like, they didn't miss Lewandowski, but they clearly needed a finisher and probably would have, had Lewandowski been playing Lewis Vic van Dutchenstein, if whatever, the Nazis would have killed him, whatever his name was.
There's your Nazi reference of the week.
Ding, ding. But they probably would have scored a couple more. But Bayern were great. And Alphonso Davies, not an American, but Canadian. Can we claim him? We'll take him.
No, he's
gonna beat us.
Yeah, that's my problem. He's going to kill the U.S. in every big game. Like Canada. Great. Now we got to worry about Canada and Trinidad and Tobago. Fucking hell.
Our team's good too. But PSG get a late goal. Mbappe is incredible in this game. Neymar plays okay, but they have 3 away goals to Bayern. But then this game sets up to be like Bayern 5-2 in the next game.
Yeah. I mean, look, if there's any of the 4 matchups in the in the second leg, I should say, for next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, that you should watch, it's PSG Bayern. And I don't think it's particularly close, right? Like, we just talked about how Dortmund could pull the wool over City's eyes, and that's very possible. And it's also on Wednesday, so you're good there. But PSG Bayern is going to be a really, really interesting game.
And this PSG and Man City are the proverbial enemies at the gates, right? So Man City's owned by the Emirates, PSG is owned by Qatar, basically. Yep. They're city state-owned teams. PSG is a little bit gnarlier, but Man City may be terrible, but at least they've like literally developed the entire area around them. They fucking created a women's team. I'm gonna defend my team. All right, Porto, Chelsea. The less said, the better. Chelsea cruised. Yeah. They had the easier group. Tuchel, they bounced back after West Brom, and everything's pretty poised to get to the semifinal. I am not feeling good, but that's just how I roll.
But listen, it's the quarterfinal of the Champions League. If you were feeling good, it's a very rare
we're the betting favorite, and if we lose this again, it's an indictment of Pep Guardiola again. It has to be.
Certainly. Absolutely. Right. Because you, like you said, you had a good result, not a great result. You got to go win a football match. That's basically what has to happen.
It should happen.
Just go win a fucking match.
Yeah, I know. I just
even a draw.
It gets so scary without a striker. Because
I get that.
The goals are going to come. You just never know who it's going to come from.
Yeah.
And you think it's De Bruyne. De Bruyne's going to create chances. There's no doubt about that. But where are they going to come from? I don't know. I need some certainty, like a Stuka hitting a building. And I'm no Stuka. We're bombing from 20,000 feet. More German reference. Not a good one, but I'm going to keep trying to work them in as we continue. See if I can't.
All right. Are we talking Premier League now?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. I want to talk about West Ham more because that game, we didn't get to talk on Monday about it, but like, wow, that was a barn burner. And then, I mean, I walked into the weekend going,
the Wolves one.
Yeah,
West Ham's fucking
Chelsea
fun,
and Tottenham,
man. They're awesome. They're so
Chelsea
good.
and Tottenham and Liverpool are sitting here. And as soon as you guys took care of business against Leicester City, we said last week, I walked into the weekend going, Leicester City is more at risk of dropping out of a Champions League spot than Chelsea is. Fast forward a week, here we are.
There we are.
West Ham's in 4th, man. And
fucking legends.
Yeah, I hate them, but I respect them. And here we are, West Ham, Leicester City. I mean, Sunday's a good slate, right? West Ham and Leicester City for 3rd place. What kind of drugs would you have to have taken in September to say on April 11th, we would be watching Leicester City and West Ham, a battle of 2 contenders for Champions League spots?
Leicester, I think, is there.
Sure. Yeah. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is that this is a 6-pointer in the top 4 race.
Yeah.
That's
and then the other one is your team, Tottenham Man United. This is usually the game that you guys get, and everyone thinks everything's fine.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. I mean, over the last few years, but this year specifically more so.
Right, because this was the match that after the restart you got, and everyone was like, Mourinho's got this team.
No, we lost to United.
Oh,
lost after the restart.
Oh, well, okay, I've got it wrong.
But
it's
but
the narrative flipper. It's for
Yes.
either manager, whoever gets the game, it becomes like he's got it thing.
Right. This was the 6-1 at Old Trafford.
Right. Sorry.
Earlier
That's
in the
one.
season.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, by that math, I should feel pretty good, right? I mean, I don't know what United's got. As we mentioned, they played today. So
they won. They beat Granada. Not a big deal.
Right. But we should have a little bit more fresher legs. This game also doesn't mean much to United, frankly. I mean, they're locked in.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty locked in. They're not definitely locked in, but they're pretty. But
the thing is, this is a game that United loses, and I'll tell you why. Unless it's penalties, they have
they're very likely will be. Have you seen our back line?
The thing is like, yeah, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe. But the thing is that's weird about fucking Tottenham is. Their defense is top 5. Their scoring is top 5. They should be better.
Now you're going to upset me.
It's annoying.
Yeah, annoying's a word for it. Annoying is certainly a word for it. Yeah, you're right.
They should be better.
They should be better.
Frustrating.
There's no reason why. Like, we're sitting here 3 points off of a top 4 spot, and like, there's 15 points lost from winning positions. So
you should be there.
Don't even wake me up.
Right. But it's weird. Like you would expect now, if you know what you really want to have happen, this is how you want what you want to have happen. You want it to be 0-0 until 78 minutes and then score 2 goals late because Mourinho lets the handbrake off.
Right. Right. And in fact,
because if you score early, you're losing.
I was gonna say the worst thing that could happen. And by the way, betting advice is Spurs score in the first 25 minutes.
Bet against them.
Put the house on Manchester United. Because that's what's going to happen, right? And we saw it in the North London derby, where actually I remember sitting there going in the second half, right? Because the Arsenal scored basically on the stroke of halftime. And I remember saying, all right, well, now in the second half, maybe Mourinho is going to have to go for it. Because if it was 1-0, I mean, this game was going to end poorly. But he didn't even do that. So, yeah, I mean.
Or you want to go up early, let Man United score 2, and then try and come back. Like you,
right.
Whatever the case is, don't sit on a fucking lead, Tottenham.
Look, whatever happens.
Learn his fucking lesson and just be like, no, we're going after this game. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Whoever scores too soon will lose this game. I promise.
And then this game would have been super exciting for me 3 months ago. Man United, Leeds United should be fun.
Man City.
Sorry. Man City Leeds. Should be fun for me, but neither of these teams are playing for anything. It'll just be a fun kind of up and down game. We'll see.
You know what? I don't believe that. I think Leeds is playing for everything all the time. And
they do play like
that. They're like, fuck it, let's win 6-5. And I love that about them. And I'll never not. But yeah, I'm going to wake up on Saturday morning at 8:45 and go, it's 3-1. It's 3-1 City.
Whose season would you trade for? Would you trade Leeds season for Arsenal season?
Yes. No, I'd rather have Arsenal season because they beat us.
Fair
right?
enough.
Like that's the
but the results though, like Leeds are just so much more fun. Like, oh God.
Lovable. Absolutely.
I can't with Leeds. Leeds, I can't quit you. Arsenal, I can quit you. I watch Arsenal once in a while. I'm like, can you just not suck?
They blew
awful.
it today.
They did.
I forget
again.
Slava Prague, right?
Yeah. But they beat Leicester, by the way, at Slava Prague.
Yeah.
They outed Leicester, so to be fair. But this is fucking the thing is it's hard, it's weird. Like I think there's a good cool narrative here of like when you hear people say things about this is Man United, this is Arsenal Football Club, 20 something straight years in the Champions League. Arsene Wenger, the Invincibles. This is the club of Thierry Henry and Vieira, and even to a lesser extent, like, Ozil and Ramsey and Bergkamp. What the fuck are they doing? Like this Arteta thing, like they should sack him.
I don't know. I don't think it's Arteta, and I've defended him before, but like I don't want to
stop playing out from the back. What the fuck are you doing?
Sure, fine, but I don't want to defend.
No, you want to keep him because he sucks. He's as good as your manager.
Whatever, but I actually think he's an all right manager with absolute terrible personnel. I think,
to quote our friend
got a
Claude,
captain.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. Pour
We're
one
just
out for
gonna. I
Claude.
need a sample of that. We're gonna put it in the show and just say
Yeah,
it's
I
time
love
to
that.
go and
I love
throw it
that.
in wherever I can.
We'll do it. We'll do the segment every week about managers who are getting sacked. No,
It's time to go is a good segment. We're in honor of Claude. From now on, we are gonna do it's time to go. We'll run a little clip and then just pick anyone who's it's a player, something. It's time to go, and
I'm
it'll
a
be the
big fan.
the Claude Memorial. It's time to go segment.
Oh, rest easy, Claude. We miss you, pal. But yeah, I think that Arsenal is just
I would have loved. I
joke
think
all
you would
around
have
the
loved
field.
him. By the way, you would have loved
Me?
Claude. Yeah, he would have been your friend.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Because I even watched those AFTV videos, and I was like, all right, I want to put troops into a catapult and shoot them into the sun.
Blood.
I want to talk to DT, and then like, it would devolve into a fist fight. But Claude, I would just give him a hug and buy him a pint. I really would.
You love that guy.
Because he would have been like, "Oh, mate, listen, like you're Spurs, you're fucking scum to me, but don't tell anybody. You're all right by me." Like that definitely would have been a sentence that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, but then you would have had to hang out with Ty too because they're all together
with his Arsenal headphones. Fucking guy.
We could just do Claude for hours. Arsenal have Sheffield. Now that's like a weird non-game. There's only one other game that I want to talk about. The 7-2 Memorial game, Liverpool Aston Villa. Interesting. We still have to talk about fucking Fulham still not fucking up, not capitalizing on the Newcastle game. They were up 1. They just have to stay within 3 so that we have a final game. Just
that would be so fun.
They have to stay within 3 because they have the tiebreaker. But Fulham, someone pointed out and listened to one of my podcasts, they've been 3 points off the relegation zone for 4 months. Like they just can't seem to get out of the zone. Like
always the
team that's been there has been 3 points away for a long time. And then of course my beloved Brighton. That's not even interesting.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I don't care. I think that is all. What have you got? What are you looking for in West Ham Leicester? This is the game that you really want to keep an eye on.
Goals. I'm really excited about it. I mean, that's nobody can defend, but they're clinical too. Is Vardy okay? Is Vardy healthy? And now
he's playing.
Yeah.
But they're playing Iheanacho and Vardy because no Barnes.
Right. Yeah, it's fine. I'm take the colors and the name off of West Ham, and I am just enthralled by them. I am so confused and like, don't tell anybody. I kind of love it. Like, it's really, good. Really interesting. Really, really enjoyable football.
Yeah, it is.
David Moyes. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're playing as a unit. It's a team.
Is this the David Moyes that Sir Alex thought he was getting?
Yeah, I think this is what he thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what Everton was.
Right.
The thing is that they never beat anybody good. So they'll probably lose this game. They've never beat a top. Have they ever beat a top 6? I think Moyes has never beat a big 6 team.
Maybe that's possible.
Like he's 0 for 20.
But like we said, Leicester's on the ropes right now. So this is a statement of intent or non-intent from Leicester, right? I think if they get a point out of this, they're in good shape. If they lose, they're going to Europa League. They're not going to go all the way to 6-7, but they're going to Europa League.
Yeah, I think there's a real changing of the guard. And I think that Arsenal, these teams with the fucking American owners, right? Man United and Arsenal, they don't have the soul of the game in them. Like as much as Gold and Sullivan at West Ham are whatever porn purveyors and really not that rich, at least they're English and they kind of get, wait, this is bad. The Cronkies don't give a shit about Arsenal at all. The Glazers definitely don't give a fuck about Man United. Tottenham, yes, you have a weird owner who's living in the Cayman Islands on whatever the fuck he is, but at least Levy cares about Spurs, right? I sense that he's a fan, right?
He does. He gets in it. Don't get me started on Levy. He gets in his own way too much. But yeah. But you're right.
He's a meek bald guy who's enamored with the hair of Mourinho, and he's just like it's like when Mussolini and Hitler met. And
that's the third reference. I like it. That's the Laurent hat trick right there.
Where at first Hitler was like, "Hey, this guy's not so cool," and then I think like Moose, I'm calling basically Mourinho as Hitler, and he's like, "Wait, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm taking over this club," and he's gonna try and take over Levy as Mussolini.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it works, but I like it. I'll be pulling for Burnley to beat Newcastle and pulling for Fulham to defeat Wolves. But those are tough games. Burnley v Newcastle is going to be tough. St. Maximin's back. That means Newcastle has a chance. I don't
think I can watch that. It's the
I'm not going to watch it. I just want to pay attention.
Yeah. I don't like.
I like the crappy teams. I mean,
no. I like the.
I want Burnley to go, but I do like Dyche.
I appreciate how he seems like a guy from the terraces. Oh, I didn't even mention this. So walking the dog the other day, I meet this guy who's like 6'5". He's a hammer, right? So we'll go back to West Ham for a second. He literally is sitting there and he's like, oh yeah, like in the 70s, like I used to like he was a terrace monster. He's huge, right?
He's English.
There's a couple of English guys I see around here, but nonetheless, this guy, he's like, I always go back when we play Millwall. Last time, 3 days in the hospital. 3 days. I'll go back again. I don't give a shit. I was like, dude, I just want to have my dog take a piss. Like, can they run around?
Yeah, but he doesn't actually care about the team. He's fighting in the guise of the team.
Well, no, he was talking about the club too, but like, but he was like, yeah. But yeah, he's
when you meet them, they petrify you and you're embarrassed to be a fan.
Well, not because, I thought he was an asshole before this because I had seen him walking around with his dog. So I was like, oh, you're just a Green Street hooligan. I get it. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now.
I'm going to admit something. I've never seen that movie.
It's not good.
It's not
good. No.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Because it romanticizes exactly what you just said, right? It's like these guys are beating the fuck out of each other literally to death while a football match is going on. It's like, dude, listen, I hate Chelsea and Arsenal fans too. And even fans on the state side, right? Like the Red Sox fans, Islanders fans, whatever. I have gotten into fracases in the arena and around and whatever. But it's like a couple of punches and everybody knock it off and go get a beer and shut the fuck up. These guys bludgeon people to death. And I'm like, okay, it's not a UFC fight. Okay. You had a couple too many. You said something to some guy and you had to kind of do the right thing.
I think they, right? in the guise of being fans, they want to fight and they get a kick out of fighting. They don't really care about the teams, honestly.
There is a certain semblance of that, but I think this guy was kind of a mesh.
Well, the Russians definitely don't because they just field fields.
They're like, hey, the game's tomorrow. You guys want to? What are you doing today, though? Like,
what the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, Russian field fighting. I remember that. We used to just watch videos of that at Tops. Oh, those are the good old days. Like
good old
the
Russian
HR
fighting.
The HR team would come over and be like, what the fuck are you guys watching?
How have I not been fired? I think I did get a warning for talking Nazi talk.
At your new job?
No. At Tops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you definitely did. The best part was when we would, I don't know when my NDA expires, but this is not anything crazy. We would be saying so much crazy dumb shit that our HR manager was on the other side of our cubicles and we would just hear closing the door, right? It was like, all right, guys, that was Michelle. Yeah. That was a little much, guys. We're like, got it. Sorry.
Yeah. Her problem was that she was trying to be cool and down with us. You just be the wall. Don't try to be friends with us.
Yeah.
Did she curse me out for some reason? She did.
She did when we were drunk one time. We were like, Jesus, lady, that was hilarious. But like, wow.
I think I was like, don't try and be. I don't know. I must have said something douchey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like, fuck you, Laurent. We're like, yeah, fuck you, Laurent.
Maybe I had a kid and I was tired.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
That was the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike Salerno and Laurent Cortines. We release new episodes on Mondays and Thursdays. Please rate, review on your podcast friendly devices. It makes a huge difference for the show. And we will return with results and whether Mike has a sad nap or not after talking to Liverpool. He might not, but we'll see. Stay tuned for PSG though. That's where we're going to go, and that's going to be a big one.